Link.
Hello, hello YouTube, everybody say hi! Yay! I'm Andy here on the Thomann Synth channel, and it's the first time live on the brand new channel here at Thomann, and I'm joined by the world's greatest synth YouTubers ever known.
Except for Andrew Huang.
We miss you, Andrew.
We miss you, Andrew, if you're watching, which we know you are.
Yeah.
We miss a lot of people.
Some of them can't make it, but some of them can, and they're here. So, in case you're tuning in and you want to know who the hell you are watching, I thought we'd go around, do a little bit of, hi, I'm Andy, 37, Austria. Just introduce your channel. What do you do on your channels? Everybody happy to do that?
Very.
Which way do you want to go? Let's go with Sam first.
Hello, I'm Sam, and I'm called Little Mum No Computer, and I make videos on synthesizers and machines and all that stuff. Hey.
Jason, who are you?
I am Jason, I'm here to help the crew, but I've got my own channel called Get Jervis, and I am UK based, doing some quirky, weird, old stuff, been around the block.
Sweet, hey, I'm Ned, so I'm Once Upon a Synth on YouTube from Canada, do a bunch of music making, synth stuff, lots of grandmother.
Lots of grandma.
I love my grandma.
I love my grandmother.
There's a gif in
PG-13, yeah?
Hi, I'm Heimbach, I'm from Berlin, and I do experimental music and experimental music techniques and weird gear.
I love Heimbach. I Simon the Magpie. And I do stuff.
What sense?
Sometimes.
What's that? Come on, a little more.
I don't know what you want to know about me because I have so many secrets and I really don't want to tell you all of them at once.
Okay, I guess they'll just come out later. I'm Jidwee, DAWless Jamming. I do like tutorials, synthesizer reviews, and music. Eurorack sometimes.
There isn't one right in my face, we'll go with that one. I'm Ben, DIVkid, I do a lot of modular synth demos, synth technique stuff. Twiddles, lots of knobs, PG-13, synth stuff.
Have we spoken yet?
Hi, this is Dr. Mix. My name is Claudio Bassavanti. I run a channel called Dr. Mix, and it's much about synthesizers. I'm a music producer, and I run a music production company in central London, and I am a synthesizer head.
Hi, I'm David. I run 8-Bit Keys, where I show really old, crappy synthesizers and toys and stuff like that, and try to make music out of them. So.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. So, I have no idea what's going to happen in this live stream. We're opening up the forum. We're getting the links and the comments live on an iPad. We're going to pass the iPad around. Jason has knocked it out the park by doing that for me.
Very efficient.
Have we all posted?
So, let's just say hi, I guess. Simon Mann says, 8-bit guy. And then someone says, oh, the 8-bit guy.
Oh, let's just see.
I'm not going to read them all. Jacob says, 8-bit guy and Sam.
Also, now it's like a competition. It's named
A teen from the UK, 8-bit guy.
Is Guy your name?
Wait.
No?
Nicola says, David. And DIVkid says, hi all.
Sneaky, very sneaky.
You should have said hi. And Stefan says, Andy, that's me. So, we're here at Thomann in Treppendorf in Germany, and you guys have come from very far away, and there's audio on this thing, so I can hear myself talking. Let's go to someone who's been in the house, who's made videos in the house yet?
Which house?
The house.
The scary house.
Sam, you've made some videos over there?
I'm trying to find the questions.
You're busy, okay.
I found some questions. Yes, I've been in the house and I've shot a number of numerous videos in the Thomann Synth Reactor studio house thing. For you, Simon.
Should we spoil stuff?
No, we're not
or is
spoiling. We
it-
can't spoil.
No spoilers.
No
All I can
spoilers.
say is some things have been broken, some things have been fixed, and Simon the Magpie has a very, very firm pair of thighs.
PG-13, man. PG-13.
PG rated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a really interesting couple of days, and there's a couple more days, and we've got a lot more jamming to do.
Yes.
Thanks for letting us come out. Really
Thanks for letting us bring stuff to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to jam.
Yeah, thanks for letting us just pick the stuff off the shop
Just so
floor
you-
and just take it to the hotel.
Without you noticing.
I'm going to let you into a little secret, and I don't care. However, someone here does, so I should, make a note of that. You've been walking around, sort of vlogging or doing something. What have you been doing?
Yeah, well, I've been a musician all my life, and I just found a way of telling my stories about what I like, which is a lot about keyboards and synthesizers, and I just had I just thought of a question that I want to know. My first synthesizer, bought by my parents, lucky me, was a Krumar Stratus, which I still have.
They're awful, aren't they?
It's horrible. But it was proudly made in Italy, which is where I'm from.
Yeah, well,
I'm a British citizen. I live in London since 2002, but I'm Italian still. And so my question would be, what is your the synthesizer or keyboard, even if it's toy, that you ever had? What's the first one, the very first one? I'm gonna ask David first.
Well, the first one I had was a Casio PT80. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. I played the heck out of that thing.
You still have it?
No, I have one just like it. I bought on eBay, but I have no idea where that one ever went.
Hey.
Me?
Yeah,
Yours.
Oh,
we go
God.
the same direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the first synth I got was an MS-10. It was broken, and I fixed it, and I loved it. And I had to give it away when I ran out of money. It was so.
How old were you when you fixed it? 7 years old?
Oh no! It was actually when I was 19. I think. I don't think I actually had a keyboard before. Oh no! I had a really rubbish. Those really bad presets that go ha bom bom ha bom bom DJ. I can't remember what that was called. DJX.
Yeah, not my first.
Was that yours?
No.
But you owned one.
I was very close proximity to one for a long time. I worked in education, so yeah, there's a lot of those.
DJ.
DJ, all the PSRs and things. No, my first synth was a Korg Poly 800 Mark II.
Holy crap!
I mean,
That's a good start.
Great synth, and it really broke me. I then convinced my girlfriend to buy the DW8000, and then moved on from there. I think I had a D10 and went digital after that. So yeah.
I actually have a Poly 800.
Mark II.
Poly 800. So mysterious because it's actually paraphonic. How sad.
What's paraphonic? Tell me what that means.
Trivia. Paraphonic is when it's only got one filter and it's not like separate voices. It's very mysteriously paraphonic. It's like they try to keep it silent.
You gotta whisper when you say it.
I don't remember
What?
my first anything.
Do you want to carry on around the circuit? Just to whip you back
Oh
into
yeah, don't
shape.
skip.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't remember my first electronic keyboard. Was some kind of Casio thing that my parents bought me. The first synth I bought myself, I got into synths pretty late, was the Little Fatty.
Good stuff.
My first synthesizer was an FM radio. And when you went to the left, to the whole left, it did do bloop bloop and then I had a borrowed Casio SK1 and I sampled into that, and then did tape stuff together with that. So that was my
You were
first.
doing tape stuff when you were 3 years old. I can imagine a little Heimbach with his tape reel.
First cassette recorder, I was of course a kid, and I recorded onto that.
Of course, Fisher Price.
Philips.
Colorful.
Philips, actually.
Yeah, I had those
Did
as
anyone
well.
have the Home Alone cassette? We're talking about tape, the little cassette tape thing.
Oh, that's super
The
expensive now.
microphone in.
It is?
Yeah, it's super expensive because
The
of
Talkman.
being in the movie.
Yeah, like the Walkman,
Talkman.
the Home Alone
Oh, I
version.
bet 8-bit guy's got one already.
No, not that one.
You've got one of those Fisher Price ones though, right? Definitely have one of those brown Fisher Price.
I have a Meowsic keyboard.
Me too.
I think I have.
Yeah.
You seen the video?
I think so. I've seen several.
I have one too.
Yeah, Simon,
Dogs,
what was your first? Have we done you
I
yet?
actually don't remember.
Yeah, Meowsic.
No, that's like that's my latest.
Well, what is your first memory?
Because it goes meow.
And that's the music.
Meow, 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 meow.
No, it's not.
That was like a
I don't
month
know.
ago.
I don't know. It's such a hard thinking back kind of question. What's the oldest one you have that you still remember?
My first.
And then not that you have still kept to this day. Have you kept the first one you got?
You betcha.
Yeah, you still have it?
Absolutely, yeah. I've got actually...
The same unit, or did you get it?
No. The actual unit.
Oh, his mom
It
got
is?
one.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I said synthesizer, but I should point out that my first keyboard, if you want to call it, was one of those electrified melodicas from Bontempi.
Oh, Bontempi, I have one of those.
Yeah, and I still have that. And then the second one was like an electronic Bontempi that would have, violin, zzz, flute, bassoon. Everybody. It was pretty much the same sound. Remember that? It was still the same sound, but I took it apart. And I was never able to put it back. I still have it in pieces.
No.
I know.
Actually, somebody
Yeah.
sent me.
I wonder if that's like a
I've actually got it
synthesizer
in my attic.
thing.
I'm
Taking
making
things
a
apart.
video about it.
Yeah.
It's Italian. It's
think
actually
So where do we get to? Who you done you, Simon?
What's your first?
But
My first?
it was what it was.
My first, I was like like a cheap Casio, but then I was like 13 into keys, but like actual first synthesizer, like knobby. I drove an hour to pick up a Mo Slim Fatty. Yeah, for $300. $300 Slim Fatty. I drove. Didn't know anything about it. The guy had like a room full of synths. He's like, "Oh, I just use VSTs now." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." I'll take it."
Whatever.
That's my first. And no, I don't have it anymore.
And there's a wild Gaz Williams has appeared.
Yeah.
Where's my Ultra Ball?
Casio SK1!
Oh yeah!
Yeah, man, that thing was amazing.
Yeah. That's right.
But that was an amazing. I mean, that it was like a cheap thing, but the sampler. This was like early days of sampling, but the kind of. I mean, you probably know what. When did the Casio SK1 come out? Was that what?
1985 or 84.
Yeah, right. I think I had it Christmas 85, I think, around that time. And it was, hooked.
Well, you know what's neat about the SK1 is it has an actual dip package ROM chip, and I've actually taken mine out and dumped the ROM out of it, and you can actually see the samples, and you can actually replace them theoretically and burn a new ROM with the new samples. And I've been meaning to do that at some point.
Wow. That's amazing. And then my first sequencer though, I got like a BBC microcomputer. It was like it was an education. BBC's and drops. And there was a
Hey, kids, shh, come on, we're listening to guys here.
An 8-voice FM. It was like just a plain box with no controls on, and the only output was an audio output on a 5-pin DIN, confusingly enough. And it was called Music 500, and it was an 8-voice, and it had a computer. It had you would use a GUI to program it. So it was one of the very first computer sequences.
GUI. Wasn't that the one that Vince Clarke probably still uses today?
He still uses it
today. BBC Model B.
Yeah. But it was a proper 8-voice, 8-voice, FM synth. So you could do full sequencing on it, and you could and it was amazing.
When we were in college, did you give me a floppy of it as well? Because I didn't have one before. I think I did, on a copy of Pavlov's Dog.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. I've got to go film. I've got to go. Thank you so much for.
Bye guys.
Should we go back now?
Yeah, let's go back. And
We've been joined by some new members of the synth community. So, Stephen,
fire away.
Hello.
Hey, Stephen, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what your channel name is.
Yes.
We are live right now on YouTube, yes.
What was your first synthesizer?
Well, introduce yourself.
Stephen from Noir Blanc V, or Noir from Noir Blanc V. My first synthesizer was the Korg MS-2000B.
Oh, there's a sequencer on that as well?
Yes, it does.
Thin wood cheeks. Like
very thin wood cheeks.
Better colour scheme on the B, right?
Yes. The other one was blue, the blue meanie.
The weird blue, it's not looking a nice one.
Yeah.
Like a dirty sort of metallic.
This guy's here.
Who are you and first name?
I'm Eli Goldberg. I post videos under Annie. My first synth was a Yamaha PSS 4 something, 67.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Found it at a thrift store for like $5.
Nice. I've got a Yamaha.
Keys that you could hardly press. Sounded not good.
Was that one of the FM ones?
Yeah, the PSS 460. I've shown that one a few times. Has it got the little sliders so you can change the
it's got
sound?
a little synth section.
Yeah,
with a couple different
that's got the chip from the Ad-Lib and Sound Blaster in it, the YM3812.
Yeah, I had that thing.
So good. It's like a living encyclopedia.
Well, as long as you're asking me about something made in the 80s, I'm good. You ask me about anything in the 90s or newer, and I have no idea what you're talking
You know what the
about.
funny thing is like all of the facts about those things, I kind of regurgitate pretty much what you said. It's like, yeah, that's the Sound Blaster chip right in there. You know, it's all, they all sound the same, just different boxes. Oh, that's 8-bit guy, 2016.
Ben, I post modular videos as DIVkid. We've already done this bit.
Yeah. What?
We just go around and introduce everybody. First synth, I look really kind of a Casio synth around this big. Obviously super mini keys, had a blue band along the top and a speaker to the left. Black casing otherwise, I can't remember what it was, but first kind of proper synth. Roland SH09, which I've still got. Doesn't have the sequencer that the 101 has, but the sound of the 09. Yeah, super simple mono synth, but really good.
I don't know where.
You know what I just thought of? A little challenge. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the geekiest of them all? So I am going to mimic a synth, and the first person to give me make and model will win absolutely nothing. How's that? All right, we'll win this banana. Hello? It's for you. All right.
But let's go this way. Let's go this way.
All right. Okay, you ready?
Casio for Elton.
Serious?
It's so good, isn't it?
That's the beat from Da Da Da. Oh, so now this video will get demonetized.
Very good.
We've just been joined by a new member. We have Rachel here.
Hi.
Just give us who you are, your channel, and what you do.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel K. Collier, and I'm an electronic producer and performer.
Nice.
And I perform with lots of synths and Ableton and live loop, and have lots of effects on my vocals and things like that. And I play with a live percussionist as well on stage.
Get you.
To bring it to life. Yeah.
What was your first synth? We just had that question.
First synth was actually the Korg King Korg. But I bought it for whirly sounds, and then only realised how pretty cool it was after I met Luke, and he showed me a proper demonstration, of which I've already had the synth for 2 years. And then he showed me what else it could do. And then, from then, my love for synths grew.
Awesome. Yeah. We're just going to go to the comments for a moment, because some people have told us what their first synths were. And maybe we can get a little ooh for the people in the comments, you know?
It depends on the synth.
Exactly.
Don't fake it.
So, okay, there we go. Pooh Ninja, can we say hi to Pooh Ninja, please?
Hi, Pooh Ninja!
Pooh Ninja. What happened with the BG? It was fine. Yeah.
Now this guy Pooh Ninja is one of the top people on the Thomann YouTube channels. He's everywhere.
Okay.
And he always appears to be. You're always first. I'm not allowed to use your real name because it's a secret.
Do you know it's
I do, yeah.
Wait, I just got it.
It's not me. Yeah, I'm just waiting.
I just got it.
Pooh Ninja got a Moog cheap in the 90s. The 90s owner didn't understand monophonic lol.
Wait a sec, I know that person.
I've heard that story.
I've heard that story. Oh no, I'm thinking of Rick Wakeman. It's definitely not Rick Wakeman. In the 90s. But there was a story about it.
That's a really familiar story though. We got this, and it only plays one note at one time. It's offloaded.
That's a Gaz Williams story as well, I swear.
Yeah.
Except for the
Okay, Chemical Diver, first synth was DX27S because the DX7 was too expensive.
Damn.
Fair enough.
Do we get ooh for that? Here we go. Lovely people, thank you, Thomann. You're most welcome.
Actually, you know what? Thank you, Thomann.
Yeah, thank you. So good. fun.
On behalf of Thomann, you're welcome. Okay, from Algorithm Dude's Crap TV, first synth was some Roland digital keyboard of the late 90s. Parents gave it away to a neighbor girl later. Now I'm compensating it by collecting abandoned FMFD digital keyboards and then bending them.
Did he ever speak to his parents?
Cool.
Algorithm Dude, are you still in contact with your parents? Let us know. First sync, the Korg DS10 Plus for Nintendo DS. KWH Coaster.
Respect.
I didn't get an ooh, I got a
Nice.
learning modular, Casio SK1.
Hello, Chris. Hi, Chris. It's Chris, isn't it? Yeah. How are you doing, man?
Nicola, mine was an S950 and I still have it.
That's not a synth, that's a sampler.
At least some sculpting possibilities. Decent filter.
Actually, yeah, it's got a filter, so...
It has, yeah.
And now we must avoid them because they're talking to each other in the comments.
That's what the chat is for.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Let's continue.
So we had a lovely comment there, a question, but do we have any questions from you guys in the comments? You lot are here, so...
Should we ask the chat?
Yeah. We can do whatever the heck we want. eSonic VFX, David Knight? Anybody? Nope. Okay, sorry, David.
I'll tell you what, I'll make a comment about the circuit bending thing.
Please.
People are always asking me about that. And I don't really do a lot of circuit bending. People always say, David, why don't you circuit bend that keyboard or this keyboard or that thing? I have seen at least like 100, maybe 200 YouTube videos where they circuit bend keyboards. And all I ever see people do is make noise with them. And so I'm just curious, has anybody ever circuit bent a keyboard and then actually made music with it?
Yes,
because you have,
a lot.
I haven't seen it. And
we can go to a dark room together. I will show you everything.
So
I'd
be interested to see.
You can really evolve an instrument if you don't, because obviously it's very infatuating to go to the craziest stuff. But if you just keep your composure and maybe get 3 units, so you have one that is not circuit bend, you crazy circuit bend one, and you mellow circuit bend one.
I guess you can circuit bend and use that as a sound designing technique, and then you can sample it and you can turn it into more organic stuff, possibly.
But like you do with the pedals, you just need to switch that stuff in.
Yeah, exactly. So you can always do an on-off switch for every bend as well, stuff like that.
Well, that was one of the rules of circuit bending. Rule number 1 is always be able to bring it back to its original functionality. If it isn't back to its original functionality, arguably, I can't remember who said that. It was the bloke that I wish I knew his name. I'm not a living dictionary like David.
No, I don't agree with that.
What you think?
Yeah, because like if you're able to turn it into a completely new instrument, then what's the point in being able to bring it back?
Yeah, it's just the bloke.
He just doesn't know how to bring it back. See, that's a different skill you have to acquire.
True.
You just go too far, and then it's just no.
But it's also all about context. When we speak about music, when we speak about art, like it's even if you say it only makes noises, well, if you put those noises in the context of
noise is a genre now.
If you put it in like the context of a big orchestral music piece, and the solo thing is doing just crazy sound from a circuit bend, Casey or whatever, that's gonna be amazing music because of the context of it.
Right.
As soon as it's alone, then it's alone.
Content is king and context is queen.
But there's also some instruments that are only becoming really great through circuit bending. For example, the Folktech Omnichord, or like generally modding an Omnichord. It can unlock so much. You can do. I've played whole shows with just the Folktech Omnichord, and because the original Omnichord will go. It's Latin rhythm and it's a bit cheesy beats and stuff like that, and just the strum. But with the proper mods and touch plates installed, you can play this in the most fascinating way. You can generate rhythms, tiny micro click stuff. You can do angelic tones. You can do everything. It becomes an incredibly expressive instrument that I use a lot in my scoring work, and I play it live. And it's almost like a modular in the way that you can interpatch it by touching the touch plates. There's a video on my channel if you're interested in checking that out. I'm Heinbach 101 on
Link will be below.
Yeah, but you're really touching on a key thing as well. Like unlocking a new way to play the instrument is a big part of circuit bending.
Yeah.
So it's like the expressiveness in itself, definitely very important part of it, for sure.
Where's the line between hacking and circuit bending?
And modding
is
as
a
well,
tough
because
one.
there's a lot of pedals that just get modded.
Yeah.
It's just a change of a transistor
Exactly.
or just something, it just unlocks more headroom or...
Yeah.
But that's you sort of
That's just
explain
really
it.
basic, simple mod.
So that's not like circuit bending is disregarding those types of rules, I guess. Like
Well, I
not
think when-
replacing stuff, adding stuff maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you
Like
find-
additive synthesis instead of FM synthesis.
It's not added
That
Is there a
analogy
difference
works.
between hacking and circuit bending?
It's I don't
Yeah,
think
no, I don't know
there
how to
is on paper, but I think it's an emotional.
I've never heard of it. Hacking I would associate with something digital, code.
Oh yeah, maybe
Something like
the word.
I've never heard someone hack an analog synth, for example.
Yeah, but I would
maybe
say
it's a lingo. Maybe it's a
an analog synthesizer, because in its analog in essence would be very hard to circuit bend,
Yeah.
but more hack. Because
Yeah.
it's not like circuit bending usually is sat around the RAM chips and the ROM chips that get like you're fudging around with those, and when you suck something out, it goes and it adds weird.
it's
things to the digital.
It's a good point.
Where's the line? Look what you made us do.
What do you want to say then?
Well, I was going to say, some of the keyboards, like, they had features in there that they took out for the final product, but the pins, like, are still there.
You can
add them back. And so those were features that were planned, and they're programmed into the code, but you just can't access them. And I don't know if that's not really circuit bending, I don't think.
Did you manage to pull them out? Ever?
I have on some keyboards.
Easter egg, that would be, wouldn't it? Sure.
That's kind of about hacking.
Easter egg.
Easter eggs, that might be a better term.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like using that on the Canon cameras, using that unlock function and suddenly to be able to record like more than 30
I'd say
minutes.
that's hacking, yeah.
That's
like the
hacking.
Black
Stuff like
Can you
that.
do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Can you do that on these ones?
Yeah, it's no, not Panasonic.
So annoying.
Yeah,
An American one.
Oh really? Can you? Is that?
it's all Texas. It's Texas.
Says half an hour.
But also, it really nothing matters
The
because
Easter egg
it's
thing,
art.
though,
So.
surely the Easter egg came from the gaming mode, right? Where you would find like a little Easter egg, a little surprise,
Yeah.
someone's put in the thing somewhere.
We
So
were
that's not really hacking.
No, we were almost talking about that with since we can't spoil what you did though.
What's that? What
We did something. He did something, and that made it so we saw the PCB. And on PCBs, there are always like funny messages, like there's a ladder filter, so there's a funny ladder like painted. Like what?
You kind of basically just said what it is.
No. That nobody understands what I'm saying. But I mean, could there be secrets that we don't know?
They're like insults in Metasonics
They're
modules.
insults?
There are insults somewhere there.
Yeah.
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 Because that's
stuff
really
like that.
cute Easter egg.
I think
kind
it's
of thing.
exciting because if you're a designer and you make things, for instance, if I do it, I write exactly what I've done on that day on the back of the module that I've built, or for instance, or like the loads of documentation are inside. So if I die or something, and somebody, I mean, it's going to get chucked in the bin, obviously. But if somebody actually opens it and goes like, before I chuck this away, what does it say? Oh, he had 2 poos and a kebab. Great.
That mentioning things getting thrown in the bin, that leads to a good point. Has anyone ever found any gear in a bin or in a skip?
I wish.
Everyone in college is throwing out a load of old
2
equipment.
weeks ago, I was at the skip and there was a YSS 20, the FM synth, the 80s, late 80s. I couldn't find it. I didn't want to so I left it there.
It's in a skip, you should
I know, but it was in the tip where you're not allowed to.
You just take this one way.
I thought I'd go and find one of the guys and say, do you mind if I take that? But it didn't happen.
That was very polite.
I went back the next day and of course it had been complete.
What if it was a mini mug?
Well, I might have jumped in. Absolutely would have jumped in. I would have gone, I don't know.
Do you know what? Actually, you made me think of something, if I may.
Yeah.
Right, coming here to Thomann is mind-boggling the amount of keyboards and synthesizers that I've seen. I mean, I just landed this morning. I had a heart attack when I was in the room. So, and between the tent and the room, there's so much stuff. And I thought to myself, if I could just steal one, without being
Which one would it be?
But I tell you which one would be mine. The PPG wave in that room. That's what I would steal.
So if it's missing,
So you haven't
If it's
taken into
missing,
account
you-
how you're going to steal it.
Well, I didn't say I planned this out.
think you
And
could fit
certainly
in your
talking about it on
pants.
live streaming does not help.
But don't you think Thomann has a bin? Like where they throw stuff up?
Do they have a skin
do they?
They need to have that.
What is it, like GameStop? Just throw crap away.
Because there's actually like in CERN, you know CERN, the super glider. I've been contacted them because apparently their skips are legendary. Like you just climb in. Like I'm going over there, but skip dive. We should go.
We should go out and vlog and see if we can find.
I went on a school trip to
Yeah.
CERN and got to stand inside a piece of the
Coleman
particle collider.
dumpster dive.
And those
Need a Geiger
rare
counter.
moments where you're like, school actually did something
That would be
pretty
Geiger counter.
cool.
That would be
If we want to check that.
Yeah, get the guy. Oh, in case it's radioactive in there.
So,
So I need lead pants.
Maybe.
You're
I
already
thought that was the source of
radioactive.
your powers, by the way.
What, my lead pants? are radioactive?
Not having them in radioactive environments.
We'll see. But, man, there's David Cranmer. Have you ever heard of the Nervous Squirrel? David Cranmer.
Yeah.
You know, he builds. You may have seen it. The radioactive synth module. It's like a Geiger counter.
Yes,
It's quite amazing. But he's built so many good things. Like we did an art exhibition. It's actually you go to Stockholm to ride the synth bike 3.0. He's got one there. Which basically it's a bit of radioactive ore. And there's a Geiger counter, and then this big mechanical xylophone, and the ore is playing the xylophone.
That was in the Dublin Science Gallery a couple of years ago with your synth bike.
Yeah.
It's menacing. It's like in films where you hear them like drag a knife against the wall, and you can just hear it through the whole gallery. And yeah, like I said, it's radioactive lead xylophones, ton of wooden beaters on the thing.
Yeah, it's just amazing how the fact that because he has this lead thing and you move it to the side with this gear, it pulls it off, and then the Geiger counter is exposed to the ore, and how much effect the lead has is quite amazing. But
if you want a more,
So come to Sweden and we all go to museum.
if you want a more home-friendly version of his work, he remakes the old BBC ring modulators from the Radiophonic Workshop.
Nice.
They're really cool. Just in like a tiny little pedal enclosure. Really nice.
To answer your question about the skip diving and what happens here at Thomann.
Ooh, inside information.
Are we going to be disappointed?
Are we put
Probably.
in a cell if we do it?
What we do is we put it all back together and sell it to Harley Benton. What we do is every year we have a flea market.
Oh yeah, they told me that actually.
So if something happens, you know, God forbid and all that sort of stuff, if someone drops something, or if something arrives broken, or for some reason it's less than B stock, which is used, it may go into the flea market. So every year we open up the logistic part, and it is a huge warehouse. And I was there for the.
You should invite
so
us.
Big.
When is
You're
that?
more welcome. Let's say after the summer, sort of. I want to say September. Correct me if I'm wrong.
My birthday is in September.
Happy birthday. I was there but what I warn you is that I was there for the first time this year hosting the live stream. And has anyone seen The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
You know the bit where, or classic zombie movies where you've got the grilling fence and you just sit there. That is flea market at 9 and then the barriers open and Hans Thomann says, "Let's open the gates," and people flood in and just have an
Is it only for
amazing
people
time.
from Treppenor?
It's for people from all over the world if they want to come to Treppenor.
Oh, wow.
So if you're watching this live, or if you guys indeed want to come, then you're welcome.
What day is it? Mark in your
It's
calendar.
probably a Wednesday, you know.
Just guess.
So that's the answer. We do have a kind of skip dive, but that skip is so massive that we are opening the whole logistics place and
2.5 hours.
selling stuff off cheap.
But that just
That's
does that mean that we can't just go and get a pre-flea market, have a look around and see if we can buy it now?
Never say never.
I never say never.
Oh yeah, where do you because you're stashing all
Yeah,
year
it's
long.
stash.
Oh yeah. Is there anything broken now?
I don't know.
Well, you two have been breaking stuff.
Oh yeah.
You're making your own pile as you go.
We're making our own pie. I don't know.
I've got a little anecdote for you. So, a guy came to my house a couple of years ago and wanted to donate to me a Casio CZ1000. I don't know how many of you know what that is. And he told me, he said, yeah, I was in the Goodwill, not the store like where you go into Goodwill and you buy the stuff off the shelf, but after it sat in Goodwill for like a year, they ship it off to this place, I forget what they call it, but it's like a special Goodwill store where they sell stuff by the pound. Yeah. And he said he went in there and he saw that Casio CZ1000 just sitting there, and he bought it for $1 because they were gonna actually shred it and recycle it if nobody took it that day. And then he brought it and gave it to me, and it worked. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was perfect. And it's, I think the people at Goodwill probably said, "Oh, it's a Casio. It must be just some toy, or whatever." And it's worth hundreds of dollars.
That's a good find.
And it sat in a Goodwill store for over a year before we moved there.
Yeah, where
was in Texas.
Great, Will.
Road trip to Texas?
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I doubt you'll ever find another one like that.
I've got a question then. Is Goodwill as good as I think it is? Or is it a bit disappointing?
It depends on where you go. Do you ever watch LGR?
I mean, that's why I'm asking, because
he finds crazy stuff. I have gone to my Goodwills all around Dallas-Fort Worth. I can never find anything.
That's how I feel about flea markets.
Just
like looking for things, and it's just like keychains.
Surely, everyone in the US thinks that Europe has that really good, and they've got great little flea markets around Berlin and all these things, and we think vice versa.
Actually,
all the Europeans think
No,
it's nice in the US.
we have a lot of great things.
boot sales.
It depends on where you put the standard, like what you
want.
Well, but in the States, the Goodwill now, they have the auction site.
What's the difference between a pound,
Yeah, it's like an auction site.
And a kilo?
Goodwill. It's weird.
Actually, I did find something at a Goodwill. I found a Yamaha P45 piano for 80 pounds. And it's a great piano, and it sounds great, and it's 88 weighted keyboard.
How did you get it
I keep it
shipped
at
to
home. It's literally was around the corner from where I live.
Okay.
So I actually put it on my bike.
Oh, sweet.
So you had a synth bike for a while there. It's trademarked, just so you know.
Hey, we've got a question from people at home, from Jeffrey Vitali, who asks, what should he use to take his Moog Prodigy to the next level? Any specific pedal or gear he can use?
His Moog Prodigy?
Moog Prodigy.
Would definitely use a screwdriver.
the drink or the tool?
What to follow up? In what context? These questions. I feel like I don't want to rant about it, but I get these questions a lot with the modular stuff, and it's like, in what context? Does he want some big spaced out ambient thing, or are we going drive and hard?
Jeffrey Vitali, what do you want? What do you want from your Moog Prodigy?
Yeah.
Give us more.
Take it to the next level.
Take us to the next level to help you take your Moog Prodigy to the next level.
I do have an answer for that. I think you should try with the Moog Delay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the what is that? The Eventide Black Hole that thing.
Oh, the black hole.
That would do the trick.
H9.
Any guitar pedal.
Any
Harley Benton.
Get some Harley Benton to begin with.
I tried to give a reasonable answer to the
What's the next level?
What's the
What's the next level?
Okay, that's fine.
We have no answer from him, which means we must have answered.
We lost him.
Maybe it's downstairs.
He went to
needs
go play.
upstairs.
He went to go play.
Well, I'll pose a question.
Try it out.
What's the crazy? And I know what he uses, but what's the craziest thing you've ever used to make music with?
It's PG-13, so
That is so true for you.
sadly it's very true.
Oh yes.
But I can, I don't know. I can go with
I've used Bauhaus, the whole building. I put contact mics on cracks in the wall, on metallic stuff there, and run that through effects and had 3 performers, including me, play that as part of the performance. So I basically played the building.
Oh,
it's a hardware store, no?
It's kind of hard to talk
about. The Bauhaus in Dessau, the classic Bauhaus, where the Bauhaus movement originated.
That's
cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So that was part of an art installation, art event there.
What kind of contact mics did you
What's the craziest?
Cheapest. So, but it was also like it was together. It was together with the set designer.
No, we don't.
designed
Do we
the
have
whole
to
thing
order everything,
together.
or can we
so, she basically
non-linear, I guess.
built
Okay,
nice
fine.
contact mics, and I did the music that for the whole thing basically, like composed the piece.
I feel if you're going to make something percussive, anything goes.
Yeah.
You can just really easily snip a little short hit out of anything.
But the question is, what have you done?
Yeah, like the craziest.
I just walk around everywhere I go with a recorder. So it's kind of hard to say. Really.
Well, I think that's what I've done. Actually, I have a precise memory because it was the time when I bought my first portable DAT recorder, which was a Casio something. Remember that one?
That's a good model.
Yeah, it's a good model, yeah. And I had a microphone, and I went to a scrap yard, and I had a car dropped from like one of those, pickup crane thingies, and I had a drop, and I made snare drums out of it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's the weirdest I've done.
These are very hard to top.
And I sampled it with my emulator AMAX.
I dropped the piano from like 30 feet. Once.
You didn't.
Yeah, Andrew Huang even did a video on the sample from. That was really.
So you just use the piano to record music? What's the big deal? Just kidding.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point.
What about you, Dave?
I guess the weirdest thing I've ever used is ancient keyboards, but I'm planning for some interesting things that we're going to talk about later.
No spoilers.
Are you gonna do Furby? Oh,
we talked about Furbies.
Yeah, we talked about Furbies, but I've broken his heart because they're a lot less reliable than he wanted them to be. Like the problem with freezing a Furby is you can't freeze it on the same note that it's every time. It's impossible to kind of predict what the Furby's going to do. So for those needs,
so we were talking about maybe using a speak and spell or some other.
That's one of those things where like the culture revolving around circuit bending has really, like you can't find a not circuit bend speak and spell.
Oh, I have a bunch of them actually.
Yeah. They're gonna become like this. Wow, it's not circuit. Whoa, museum. Just overnight. So crazy. What's the craziest place you put the teenage modular?
Oh, the pocket operated modular. My
Washing
little girl
machine?
likes putting it in her pram and running around the house. The washing machine, the garden.
Oh my gosh.
Are we building it?
On the.
So is it battery powered?
This is all in a video already.
Is it battery powered?
Yeah, just takes a couple of batteries in the back. It does a great dying battery sound.
Oh.
Even if you're not using the
Maybe we can
speaker,
separate.
it just screams at you like crazy. You throw the headphones off because you've done something wrong.
Do you think it was intended?
It's some next level trolling from TV.
is it all analog?
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because probably the VCAs when it gets lower at some point, then the.
Nothing was going. Nothing patched into the speaker or the output.
Oh, really? It was just the amplifier.
And it just you just turn it on.
We had one at the hotel, I think.
It's obviously sitting in silence, and then this thing just screams at you like mad.
And that's the new
yellow pocket operator 400
What? And that's just a miniature modular.
Oh yeah, you don't like small stuff.
I don't know.
But it's real size cables, right? It's full size. It's full size cables, right?
No, it's not cool.
What do you
It's 3.5. No.
What about
It's like
your
your
opinions, everybody, on this? So musical instruments, synthesizers. Over the years, they have progressively become.
I don't know though.
What's your opinion?
I did a video on the PT7, Casio PT7 that I dropped today, like earlier today. That's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
That's way back. And all of the VL tone, that's tiny.
Yeah, they're tiny, but those were toys. Even at the time, they were toys.
No, not the PT7. It's like 8-key polyphony, all analog. It's really
okay. Fine.
But no, actually, you know what? I really embrace your point, and I think you have a very strong point. Like when the synthesizers came out, and I'm talking about the golden era of them, like in the 70s, they would cost as much as a car. Right? And they were objects of desire, so much so that still in nowadays we are available to spend ridiculous amounts of money in order to put our hands on a vintage unit. And you know, because of course, I mean, on the Dr. Mix channel, you know, I do a lot of vintage gear, and a lot of people I can get that with a VST. Yes, but apart from the fact that the VST is behind the glass, it's not really true. Because I mean, look, when you connect a real 808 into the system and you press play, you will know that there is a difference.
Well, for one, it doesn't sound like what people think an 808 sounds like.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, it's like there is like,
it's raw,
you know,
and it's nowhere near as weighty as what
uncompressed completely.
Yeah. There's just you can feel the air.
Yeah, it just feels more alive when it's an actual instrument.
But it's about how people consume music.
Potentially, but the one thing is for sure, they have so much character, and honestly, it's not the same thing. You know, I mean, the instruments that they do today, they, you know, why should they? Okay, I just wish that Yamaha did the CS80 again, the real thing. I would, you know, risk to buy something like that, to have, you know, one of those objects of desire. I don't want to be able to afford, you know, a cheap digital version of it. I want the full whack. I want to dream about it and buy it.
Would you be happy with Deckard's Dream in a larger casing, like a version of the casing? Because I think building a CS80 now would probably be next to impossible. The sheer scale of building that thing would be ridiculous. The amount of wires is just insane inside there. I've never seen anything like it. But something like a Deckard's Dream, like a modern PCB version, but in a bigger case. So you've got this facade of like grandiose, and this works in your brain and makes you feel just in that way a bit more like
placebo. Like,
you know,
no, not placebo. The bigger knobs mean more control.
Yeah.
So you
True, but you know, it's like Mach is a testament to that. You cannot buy it anymore because it's already finished. But if you buy the new version of the Model D, it sounds like the old one. Okay, maybe slightly different, but you know, you still get that, you know, that raw. You still get that element, and in fact, it costs just as much or
Part
nearly.
of it as well, though, is amplified by the production technique. If you take an original 808 and just record one bar as a clip, and then just loop that in the DAW, you lose the variance and the liveliness of.
But you lose more, like
the unit, because you're nearly the samples.
so
Because you
much
could just
other
sample a
things.
bar and put it out as a loop pack. Or you could just record a thing. I think when you leave
everything analog you record into something
live
digital
really
becomes digital.
I mean,
So
I
you
can
always
live with
lose
that because, you know, in an
what you
age
could
where,
get
you know,
from
we
just
can
plugging into a
sample, we can quote, we can cover, we can imitate, we can reproduce. I think that it is okay that you get like a bar of that groovy thing and you repeat it. I think that's okay, but
But that's not that
It's the
different from
experience
someone,
of it.
Yeah,
Like
It's how
before
you
the
consume
recording.
it.
Well,
Like
I was gonna
there's
say-
no point in analog gear if you listen to the music from your phone speaker.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There still is. Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I don't think so.
It cuts through. Like.
But the recording is still the digital. You know,
No, we were talking
no.
about this yesterday, that you could record an original Minimoog
but
on
from the
anything through your phone and you
mic
can tell.
or listen to a song.
No, I mean, like, if you... I know how hard, especially now that I work a lot with test equipment, this stuff just cuts through and it sounds great on even like a phone. And I mean, like, that's the whole point of mixing, is to make even your mix sound good on a phone. So, and you can get away with so much less signals if you get good signals. So.
Yeah,
like,
I was waiting for it.
You'll have to show me practically for me to believe it.
I can do that.
So we
Next
can
time
do
you
it.
come.
Yeah.
What kind of
I
phone?
was going to say
Because
that
it's amazing.
No kidding.
So
The
David,
VST
we're going to wrap
case.
this up in a minute, just so we know. But David has a point to make.
Just before David's point, if we're going to wrap up, we should do like a last round, get your last questions.
I'm
in.
already on it.
You've already done it.
I'm on it.
So the VST thing, I mean, I think it's cool, but it in many ways it's kind of like emulating a Nintendo on your modern computer. I mean, it has its purposes, but it's not the same as having a real Nintendo and playing it, and so that's kind of how I feel about the VST thing.
That's a good analogy.
But whatever makes somebody creative and happy. So.
Absolutely.
And also, if you can't afford an analog synthesizer, if you can't, you know.
Or don't have space for it.
Exactly.
It's that CVC thing. Fudge your neck. I played on that the other day. I was like, why have I spent so much time building modular synths and taking up all my room when I could literally do it on a laptop. I was like, this is amazing.
Is this the official Mum No Computer?
Yeah. Breaks my heart.
Mom, look, computer.
Computer.
Second channel.
Like, can you edit that bit out? It's live.
So we asked for a final round of questions before we finish, before I kick this water over. And the question I'm going to choose, and we're going to just sort of give it to everybody. We're going to go round. We're going to go this direction this time because we went that way last time. This is from Chemical Diver, who has been in the chat the whole time. So thank you, Chemical Diver, for that.
Thank you. Woo! Send him something from the flea market.
I will do. First, we've got to go and break something. Put it in the flea market.
I can do that in 2 seconds. Not a problem.
Before we do this, I want to say thank you to the people watching this. Thank you for joining us for the first time on the Thomann New Synth channel live. And thank you to you people here for joining us, coming all this way and taking the time out to come to Thomann.
And awesome. It's been great.
Thank you so much.
And you want to hear the final question?
Yes.
It's kind of like a quick fire, so let's try and keep it fairly short. It's from Chemical Diver, as I said. You're off to a desert island for a couple of years to write new synth music. What synth do you pack? David.
What do we record on?
No, it's just jamming. Just jamming.
You're writing a new synth album, so imagine that you have an eidetic memory and you're going to remember everything.
How many synths can we bring?
I'll read the question again.
Are we going together? Or?
No, you're on separate islands, but you can wave to each other.
Oh, you can.
You're off to a desert island for a couple of years to write new synth music. What synth do you pack? That's the question. So I'm going to go for one. We're going to go around the circle.
Can we go the other way?
We can go the other way.
I need to think about that.
We're going to go this way.
Yeah, it's easy. Tempest.
You.
So a Tempest.
You gotta pick a different
Thank you very much.
No.
Sam?
Probably, I mean, it's just I would probably take my modular synth because it's easy to write on, but that's, is that one thing?
Put that on the island.
Yeah. Either that or a computer.
The irony.
Yeah. No, not an iPad, that's not.
No.
You may as well go all the way or no.
Yeah.
Like a desktop.
So look, no computer. Answer is a computer.
Yeah, I won't need to answer to anybody. I can be called that and justify it.
Thank you.
Seat Lombarde Coco Quantus and Nagra to record.
That's two.
And what are you going to feed into the Coco Quantus? What are you going to feed into it?
It has that's 5 oscillators. And I've got a mic, I can put a mic in there so I can just
we
sing.
got the whole island.
I can play the coconuts.
Because that's my angle as well.
What are you going to eat?
OP1.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Dang
I think
it.
OP1. Just to be able to sample everything easy.
Mine
On
would,
the island.
yeah. So
Like
what?
sand
OP1?
and water.
OP1 is your desert synth?
Yeah. You got a great battery life.
Come back from the desert.
Actually.
Huh?
Will it have tripled in price when you come back from the desert?
OP1 as well. I mean, it's a little studio. What more do you need?
But we can bring the studio though. So.
No, it's just one thing.
You're only writing, you're not recording according to the question.
Oh, really?
Within the realms of the question, it's just writing a synth album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will probably just give up. I think.
Do it later.
Yeah, I'll do it another time.
Steve?
The Dave Smith instrument Tempest.
Oh,
Right.
Either Colin Bender's modular rig.
Someone else's modular.
That was smart.
Yeah. Or a Peak.
Okay, cool.
Peak's a good call. Modular rig. Definitely.
I'm a very practical person and I like to play and I like flexibility. So I would choose something that has different types of synthesis inside of it. I will go for the Yamaha Modi X.
Huh?
I had to think about it for a while because I didn't want to bring something that's too primitive because I would obviously want to be able to play some nicer stuff too.
You got it
so.
like a couple years, so.
Yeah, so I think I decided on the Yamaha DX27.
Oh, cool.
Big
I love how much thought you put into that. I can see the pain.
You're sweating over there.
Just one.
Just so you know, it's just a story, okay? It's not part of TSR.
You say
We're not
that
gonna do
now,
it to
but
you.
next year TSR 20
TSR
on an island.
20 through 23.
Give me a solar panel to run it up.
We got all kinds of things in the comments. Will there be electric power? Probably. Reel-to-reel coconuts.
Yeah.
Roland MC202. And obviously, Poo Ninja's doing my job for me. Throw some thumbs up before you go, folks, and hit that bell.
Oh,
Subscribe to us, though.
Yes.
Also. Subscribe to us.
Smash the like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button.
Okay, we're going to leave you guys. I'm looking at you guys, but I'm talking to the people watching live. Thank you so much for joining us, and maybe we could do this again sometime in the weekend, because there's loads of stuff we didn't cover. You guys are passionate, and that's what we want. So thank you for watching, and we'll come back soon. That's been Thomann Synth Channel for the first live chat ever.
Night.
Thanks, Thomann.
Yeah. So now I have pockets underneath. It's very sexist. Do not give lady pants pockets.
Yeah.
Very weird.
You know this one?
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.